You're wearing your ranunculus.
I know.
This is
gotta be.
It's a beautiful color on you. It looks great.
Oh, thank you. It's way too short. I mean, I would really have to find the right dress to wear with it, and then I would only wear it with that dress. So I've got to take the ribbon out and redo it. Well, I mean, lengthen it and then put the ribbon back on. And I got pins in the back and strings hanging, and so but all of this looks great. I mean, I'm very pleased with it. It turned out great.
Oh, I think it's fantastic, and it is your color. Yeah. Well, with that, let's just get into the episode. So grab something to drink and your favorite project and yarn over with us.
And I said, you have just made my day.
Hello, we are so glad that you have tuned in and are joining us for this episode. And I'm not really sure which number it is, but we're glad you're here. And just so you'll know, I'm not still celebrating Easter. We're going to go ahead and get that out. This is my spring tree, and spring is all about bunnies and flowers and all of that. And so anyway, just so you'll know that I'm not stuck in Easter. But we're glad you're here. I am Susie Lanier, and I live in Huntsville, Alabama, and we've got a great episode planned for you today.
And my name is Linda Belcher, and I live in Rockwell, North Carolina. And yes, it is spring, and I think it's very appropriate you have all your spring things, Susie. I think it's really pretty. In fact, spring is just starting.
It is.
Yeah, we've had a very cool spring.
Most people think of bunnies for Easter, but they're
well,
spring.
that's when they're multiplying, is in the spring. We've got lots of them. And but before we get into catching up with everybody, we want to make sure you know, because we promised we'd tell you, our next Zoom knit is April 25th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You will get details on that through our email. So to sign up for our email, just go to our website, and there's a little box that says sign up for our email, and then you will get the information on the Zoom. We've literally doubled our email list in the last 2 months, which is really neat. But you're going to get an email from Yarn Over With Us and just confirm, because we want to, I guess they want to make sure that you really want to hear from us. So, and I promise we don't send a bunch of emails. We don't have time for that. But we will send you the important stuff, which is the Zoom information. So, anyway, so we have not actually recorded, well, since before Easter, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So have we talked about Easter? Have we recorded since Easter? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. I don't even remember. Well, what's been going on in the last week?
We recorded before Easter, yeah.
And not the Monday after?
We didn't. That was last Monday.
Oh, listen, things have been really busy here, and time is going so fast. In fact, the spaceship went up, and we watched it on TV, and then we got some notification about the landing of the Artemis. I think that's what it was called, and it was 10 days ago. I'm like, what? 10 days have passed? Wow, it seems like they just went up there. So anyway, what you been doing for the last week or so?
Well, I unexpectedly kept my 3 granddaughters last week. No, week before last, the week before Easter. So they came in for their Easter break. The 2 older ones had not been with us since Thanksgiving, so we were glad to see them, and the little 2-year-old came with them, and so my life was very full. I had a lighter week at work, and so I was able to spend a lot of time with them, and we made a lot of memories. The Monday, they got here on the Saturday, and so the Monday before Easter, they wanted to go to the mall. And so we spent the day there doing all kinds of things. There's a little inside playground that the 2 older ones have loved going to, and it was this trip to that playground that they decided they were too big for that. And so they wanted to do some
Oh, really? Oh, no.
They wanted to do some different things in the mall. And so one of the things that Sawyer, the oldest one, wanted to do was to go do that bungee jumping. They had those trampolines set out, and they hook them up to these bungee cords. And so I thought, okay, well, we'll go over there and see if you're old enough to do that. And she was, and so was Carson. But when I got there, it was $15 for them to jump for 3 minutes each, a piece. $15 a piece for them to each jump 3 minutes. If they jumped 5 minutes, it was going to be $20 per child. So $40 for those 2 children to jump on a trampoline for 5 minutes each. And I looked at the guy and I said, this highway robbery. Do you really expect parents to come and pay this? And he said, well, ma'am, I just work here. He said, I don't make the prices. I said, well, it looks like to me that you'd rather get some money than no money. I said, I'm leaving. You ain't getting no money from me. He said, wait a minute. He said, He said, I'll give you a discount. And I said, you will? I said, well, what kind of discount will you give me? And he said, well, I'll let both of the girls jump for 5 minutes each for a total of $25. And so I said, okay, well, that's better than $40. And they wanted to do it so bad. So anyway, they got on there and, you know, they loved it. It was a quick 5 minutes and it was a quick $25 spent. And so the next thing they wanted to do was go get ice cream, which is $4 a scoop. And so they were running off because the ice cream place was like in eye shot of where we were. And so I was trying to gather my stuff up and I was trying to keep my eyes on all 3 of them. They were running and I'm
that's
going
the
after
hard
them.
part.
And then all of a sudden I feel this tap on my shoulder and I turned around and it was the guy from the bungee jumping thing. He said, ma'am, you've got to pay. I had walked away without paying. I thought, oh dear Lord, I stood there and told him how awful the prices were. And then I walked away without paying. So I went back. I called the guy, corralled the girls back. I said, hey, y'all come back. And I told him, I said, I am so sorry. I really didn't mean to do that.
I'm hurting cats. I'm hurting cats.
I said, I got these little girls that are running away from me. But you know, most of the time you pay for something before you do it. Well,
True.
he didn't take the money from me. And so after that, it was like, I'm finished with bungee jumping. We're going to get ice cream now. And so anyway, I took care of that. So we're sitting there and we're talking. We got ice cream. We're sitting at the table.
Goodness.
And, you know, I'm sitting there trying to make sure they're not getting ice cream all over their clothes and all that. So Sawyer looks at me and she says, Gran, she said, I want to go to that photo booth over there. I think we need to go get our picture taken. And I said, let me go over there and check out that photo booth. Because I'm thinking, I've just spent $25 for you to jump 5 minutes. I've just paid $4 a scoop for the ice cream. And now you want to go over there to that photo booth and get a picture taken. And I said, well, you know, let me go over there and check that out. She said, Gran, she said, it'll be making a memory. And she said,
she's got you. Yeah,
and
where have you heard that?
She said, Gran, it'll be making a memory. And she said, and then you can hang the picture on your refrigerator. And then when we leave, you can remember what we did today. It'll be a memory that we make. And she said, and she said, and then when you die, it'll be our memory. We'll hang the picture on our refrigerator. And Carson piped up and she said, yeah, Gran, because you are going to die one day and we need to get those pictures taken. And I thought, how can I not go over there to that photo booth and get those pictures taken? And so anyway, we finished the ice cream and we went on over to the photo booth. And it was pure drama. I mean, because the 2-year-old didn't want the curtain shut because it was dark in there. The seat was small, And the little ones, Sawyer and Carson, when they sat down, they couldn't see their faces in the camera. So then they had to stand up. They're fighting to be able to see their faces. I'm in the middle of all of it. I'm trying to put my card up there and pay. It was total chaos. But anyway, we did get the picture, and here is.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
don't know if you can see it.
gracious!
Well,
One
it's not
for
wanting
each
to
of their
focus.
refrigerators.
Oh yeah.
That's
I
my
don't know if you
favorite.
can
When
see
you
it.
die, I'm going to put it on my refrigerator.
We're going to put it on our refrigerator, and we'll have a memory. It's not wanting to focus, but
So,
Anyway.
Susie, let me tell you, if you have a scanner, scan it, because that ink is so cheap, it fades within a year.
I've already taken pictures of it, and you
Excellent,
can't really
yeah.
see it really
Some
good.
way to
maybe
save it.
Maybe we'll
If you
put up the
can,
real
scan it
picture.
like-
You can't see it.
Oh
But
my
anyway,
gosh, what a hoot.
Yeah, you can see how they're trying to get into the picture, and then Maddox was sitting right there, in my lap. So anyway, we made a memory.
Oh, you made a memory. Oh my
and
goodness.
they're on my refrigerator, so
There you
and
go.
Maddox went up to it and she said, Gran, we did that at the mall. I said, yeah, we made a memory. We made a memory. So it was a fun week. We went to the library and we went to the park, and about Wednesday, Sawyer was sitting in the back seat and she was wanting to know if we were going to go to the trampoline park. And I said, well, I'm not sure that I said the rest of the week is kind of planned out, so I don't know if we're going to get to do that. And I was telling her what we were going to do Thursday and what we were going to do Friday and what we were going to do Saturday. And I said, your mom and dad are coming Saturday night. And I said, y'all are going to church on Sunday morning, then you're going home. And I had my rearview mirror down so I could see the back seat, because they're all three back there in their seats. And so when I said that, I saw Sawyer, and this look of fear came and distress came over her face. And she said, what? I'm going home Sunday? And I said, well, yeah, honey. I said, you've got to go to school on Monday. She said, I was supposed to stay here a long time. She said, it's not been a long time. She said, I was supposed to be here a whole week. And I said, you have been. By the time you go home, it will be.
It's like my week.
And
A
she
week
just
has gone
went
by.
She went to crying. I don't want to go home. This has not been long enough. But they hadn't been here since Thanksgiving. And my heart just, it's like, I was crying with her. I said, you're going to make me cry. I don't want to go home, Gran. I said, well, you can come back this summer. My mama has my whole summer planned. There's not going to be time for me to come back. And so anyway, they had a good time. They had a good time.
Aww.
And they did leave on Sunday afternoon. Ben left with the two older ones, and then Mary Catherine got to stay Sunday night, and then she left early Monday morning to head back. So anyway, that was my Easter. And of course, we had a good, Easter service at church, and the girls were able to go to an egg hunt, and they thoroughly enjoyed that. And so anyway, we had a good day. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and fighting to pick up my needles and do a little bit of knitting during all of that. But it's been fun, So that was my Easter celebration, and what I did. It was full of a lot of stuff, and it took a lot of energy. And so last week I worked and recuperated.
Man.
So what did you do?
Easter, we usually get together, but this year, my husband was out of town until Friday afternoon. And he, was coming home to 3 acres of grass to cut. And he was just really tired. And, my daughter's husband is a pastor. And so, every weekend's a working weekend for them of sorts. And Kiefer was just really tired. And, I was hearing her talk, and I knew what was happening on my end, and my son is like Switzerland. He'll just end up doing whatever we tell him to do, if you will. And, but I knew, he works out of town all week, so he's only home. It's so hard. I tell people my kids live like 4 miles from me. My son lives 4 miles from me, but I rarely see him because he's out of town all week and he's only home on the weekends. So anyway, we discussed it and we knew we were having a big party next weekend. We had a big birthday party the weekend prior, and I said, you know what? Let's just not. I'll bring out my honey baked ham for the big party and let's just rest. I know Danny would appreciate it and Kiefer would appreciate it, but you know, I mean, it's like you hate to give up traditions, but at the same time, at what peril to the body and mind sometimes. And she said, Mom, are you sure? I said, I am really sure. So we went to church and then we came home and we ate. I don't even remember what we ate. Doesn't matter. And it was just a very quiet day and we rested and napped. I'm sure a nap was involved.
My husband says the most
me.
spiritual things you can do sometimes is just rest. And so, rest is a necessary thing.
Yeah.
Especially as we have more birthdays, which I had
I
one.
know. Yes, happy
I had
birthday
one.
again.
Yes.
Yes, I forgot. Yes, happy birthday. And but the Thursday prior to Easter, the Thursday prior, if you follow me on Instagram, which is Linda M. Belcher, funny story. That was hilarious. I got to tell you what happened there. But anyway, we went. You know, I had the grandkids and we met for lunch. My daughter and I with the kids, and then usually we're at my house, but we decided to just have an outing. So it ended up being a lot like your day out at the mall, but we went to some gardens and we went for ice cream and we walked all over the historic downtown. I got some miles in, and it was just beautiful, and I got beautiful pictures and made beautiful memories. And you know, my granddaughter, she's so funny because she's all about podcasting. You know, she goes, record me. And so she's going to give a narrative about this rose bush or this, it's hilarious. So it was fun. But anyway, I was tired. So I went into the weekend already tired. So, but it was okay. It was okay. We got a lot of yard work done, and that's part of spring here. It's just a lot of, getting the yard ready for the new year or the new season, which is, all that. And I'm, as you said, we're not 30 anymore. So I'm like, I do a certain amount. I rest, drink my sustain, do some more, drink some coffee. It's just, but a lot of the work I actually did in the last 2 weeks, I will never have to do again. So I'm really, one of our goals is we're really trying to get our yard maintenance free as much as possible. So that's a good thing. And a lot of times it just takes money. And, it's just, we never could afford it. And it was fun because I actually took my grandkids to the big mall. We call it the big mall. New Year's Day. It was New Year's Day. And we did all the things. All those things you just mentioned. And they too wanted to go on that bungee thing, but I just didn't feel that I could do that without asking their mom, and I didn't want to bother her because I knew she was napping. She naps when they're gone.
Hopefully your bungee thing is cheaper than mine. Oh, Lord.
Oh, well, I have no idea. I just told them we have to wait to, But where was I going with all that about going to the mall? Yeah. Oh, I was able to do all the things kind of that I couldn't afford to do when my kids were younger. That's sometimes the beauty of having grandkids is you can just spoil them. I don't even call it spoiling, but you can just do certain things that, you weren't able to do sometimes. And I don't even know we didn't even have a carousel, so my kids never asked to go to it. But I know I spent a whole lot more money than I would have ever spent at the mall with my kids. Let's put it that way. Yeah. Once you go to the Lego store, the story's over, right? It's like,
that's right.
And they both, both of them love Legos, so it's like, ooh. Anyway, but it was fun. Anyway, and what else did I do? Oh, Susie, I don't even remember the last. Just busy, just staying busy.
Live life like everybody
just
else
living
out
life.
there. We're just all living life.
Yep. So I did get some knitting done and got some things off the needles. and some things almost off the needles. I'm trying to get my Yumi done for the party, which will be fun because my friend Jan, who's coming down from Wisconsin, who we went to Key West with, she saw me knitting it, and the color again was conch, because I was in the Conch Republic. And so now hopefully I can wear it for the party. That'll be fun. So we already alluded to you wearing your ranunculus. And just as a reminder, what fiber is that knit out of?
It's 100% cotton. And,
is it?
It is.
Okay, why am I surprised?
The
okay.
Well, no. I just told you
I didn't
wrong.
think it was.
It is cotton and linen.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm, like I said earlier, I'm going to be taking the band out and knitting it longer. But this was the yarn that I used.
Yes. I saw that
I
brand,
can't
the
see
Zooey.
it.
I think it's Zooey.
Yeah,
I saw that
Zooey.
brand in Key West at the quilt shop, and I recognized it only because you've used it. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it.
And I have 2 hanks of these, so I can knit it as long as I want to and put the band back on. And I'm still not opposed to finding that dress to wear it with, but I'm afraid if I find the dress, that'll be the only thing I wear it with because it's just too short.
I think you'll enjoy wearing it with pants more.
Yeah. So anyway, I like it, and it's not blocked. It's it's still kind of
Oh, really?
stiff. Yeah, I haven't blocked it because I knew that I was going to take the band out and continue knitting. So anyway, but I usually don't wear things that I've knitted because they're usually blankets and accessories and things like that. But anyway, I've got it's been a very long time since I've knitted a garment that I would wear. Probably
I'm so happy you
over
did.
30 years. Yeah, I've knitted garments for the girls, the granddaughters, but
Sure.
it's a little bit different when you're knitting for yourself because you can't knit it too big because hopefully you're not going to grow anymore, and if you knit it too big, that's bad. And,
Hopefully.
the granddaughters, I don't care if I knit it a little bit big for them because they're going to grow, and you want some growing room anyway, but it's different when you're knitting for yourself. So, but it was a great journey knitting the ranunculus, and I'm sure that I'll knit more of them. I went to our last episode, I alluded to the Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest, and there is the Nash Fest coming up this week on Friday and Saturday in Nashville, and I'm hoping to go to that.
Are you?
I'm thinking that I'll be going on Friday, which will be is that the 17th? I think that is the 17th of April. And I don't really have anybody to go with me right now. So I may be taking a road trip by myself, which that will be fun too.
Oh.
I don't
And
mind
it's like
that.
an hour away only? Is it like
it's a
an
couple
hour?
of hours. Yeah, it's a
Oh, is
couple
it?
of hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you spend the
and
night or come home?
Oh no, I'll come home. Yeah, I think it starts on Friday at 11 and ends like at 6. It's 11 to 6. Of course, I could go and stay the entire time. I know I could,
Yeah.
But anyway, if this will come out on Thursday of this week, so if you hear this and you're going to be at Nash Fest, DM me and let me know you're going to be there, and then I can look for you.
Yeah.
So, but at Middle Tennessee.
Meet the Susie.
Yeah, there you go. At Middle Tennessee Fiber, I found, I was good. I didn't buy a lot of things, but this is one little thing that I got that I absolutely love. This was a felting booth that the gal had felted animals. And so this was my little purchase at that felting booth. And her shop is called Julie's Fiber Treasures, and she's got a website. Oh, she's got a Facebook. It's called J Fiber Treasures. She has an Instagram, Julie's Fiber Treasures, and she has an email address. So anyway, we'll put up that information in the description. Yeah, so anyway, a lot of felting stuff. There was a lot of that there. You know, people beginning to do felting,
Yeah.
and the animals were just unbelievable. The things that they can do with felting is just absolutely beautiful. That's a whole nother craft in itself, working with fiber.
Right.
But I just could not walk away from this little guy. And then there was a gal there that had a pottery wheel, and she was making different things, yarn bowls and different things. And so I got this little cup
look
there,
at there.
and it is a precious, got little bees on it, a little frog, and the flowers. And then she's got a tab here at the top for your thumb to sit on, so it's a very comfortable cup to hold. And she has a website, and she is called Both Hands on the Wheel, and it's handcrafted.
Oh, what a cute name for her website.
Both Hands on the Wheel. And she has, and that is, her website is bothhandspottery.com. And she had beautiful things there. I just absolutely loved the different things. And what was neat about her is that she had a little tag on the inside, and it told how many ounces that the cup held. But it wasn't like that was how many ounces it was to the top. And so this was like a 12 or 13 ounce cup, which has plenty of give room, you know, for you to fill it up, and there's room for you not to spill your coffee or your hot beverage. But these were beautiful. She had just gorgeous things there. And so I got that. And then, you know, we have a hand dyer right here in Huntsville. Her name is Robin, and she has her hand-dyed yarn company is called Birds with an apostrophe S, BIRD''S Nest Stitchery. And this is her little card. It's hard to see it. I'm so sorry. We'll put this information in the description. But these are the two hanks of yarn that I got from her. And I've bought quite a bit from Robin, and she actually had an Advent last year, and she told me she was going to have another one. And I even asked her, and I'm going to keep after her, about having a monthly yarn club. You know, it would be wonderful to participate. And I'm going to talk to her further about that. But she doesn't have anything like that right now. And she said she would just hope that if she did something like that, that she could, you know, do it with excellence, you know. But I think she does a lot of wholesaling yarn too. But in our local yarn shop carries things by her. But she is a beautiful hand dyer, and so I picked this up from Robin. And then our last episode, when I had already talked about the self-striping sock yarn, and so these are the self-striping sock yarns that I picked up. And so I didn't go overboard. Oh, and Linda, look at these.
The monkeys.
They're little monkeys.
Oh my gosh,
I
know.
Look.
I literally thought about those monkeys the other day.
We used to always say that we were
sometime.
Years ago. There's no a quick blip, as we used to say we were little monkeys. But anyway, these
working together
and
we somehow
little monkeys.
We found an image of one monkey hanging, and one was on a branch, I think it was, and you know, it was like there we were, and then we found a Hallmark ornament with two little, you know, monkeys, and mine sadly got broken by my grandchildren.
Well, mine did too. But
Oh.
anyway, when I saw those,
They probably were brittle
monkeys,
hanging in our mirror of our car.
But when I saw
like,
those
oh.
monkeys, I thought, oh me, I have to get those little yellow monkeys.
Oh,
and so,
my goodness.
I was pretty good, you know. But anyway, because I thought I'm gonna hopefully go to the Nash Fest in
Oh yeah,
Nashville, and so tried to I'm having to try to spread it out, but
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
it was a one. Middle Tennessee Fiber Fest is a wonderful, if you are in the area and you can go to that. It always is good, and they don't charge to go. There's no ticket price to get in, and so that's really nice because most of them there is a ticket price to get in. I mean, even if it's just $5, but they charge nothing to get into this one.
Isn't that interesting?
And there was a lot of vendors there, a lot of them, and so it was a great Fiber Fest. I really enjoyed it, and so that was my stash that I got from there.
Oh, how fun! How fun! Well, I'm going to share a couple things. We'll finish with knitting, of course, but I'm going to finish or show you what I finished, and I think I don't want to say too much because I hate, to fail anybody. But I literally am kind of creating my own pattern for the Danny. It's turning out great. It is, and but it's a work in progress. So I knit the first. It looks very small, but it's going to open up. The first, it's the right side. So this will be.
Is this a cardigan?
It is a cardigan. I'm probably hitting my microphone. It's a cardigan, well, part of it, when you do cables, it does bunch up. And of course, you can see how big. Plus, the button band isn't on it yet, which will be added later. So it's plenty big. I
love the color. That is a great color.
I know. And I know I've probably said this before, but you might be new and you might need to hear it again. But this City Tweed from Knit Picks is so amazing for several reasons. One is you can see the fabric. Obviously it's a tweed, and this is a very dark slatey gray. I love the flecks, which give it the whole tweedy thing. Yeah. But it's really good for me because although I have to say this looks pretty consistent, but if you're not a real consistent knitter, the fuzz or the texture of the yarn fills in gaps.
It's very giving, yeah.
It is. It's giving, it's forgiving, and the other thing is because of, it's almost like adding Angora, or but you can take a DK and make it look worsted. It looks like a bulky sweater, but it's not going to wear like a bulky sweater. And in this climate, worsted will be worn, on Easter. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. I actually had an Easter outfit, and part of it's back there on my... I vowed I will never buy clothes for a certain holiday temperature or assumed temperature again. We had a warmer Christmas than we did Easter. So,
we did.
We could have swapped clothing, but the colors would have been wrong.
We were in the 70s on Christmas Day, and we were in the 60s on Easter.
Cold and rainy, So, anyway, but we just don't have cold enough, and especially men. They usually run hot anyway. So this is, I love this yarn. This is the second sweater I've made out of this yarn, and I'm extremely happy, and it is not expensive, in my opinion.
No, and they even run sales on it
all the time. In fact, I think this was $4.99 a skein.
Yeah.
And then this is coming along, and I probably will be wearing it the next time we get together. But my conch, I gotta find where my lens is.
Looking great. Yeah.
And here's
oh wow, you've already done the
I'm
done,
bottom? And I finished one sleeve. I finished this one sleeve.
Oh, yeah, that looks
have
great.
Not put in. I love the half twisted rib. I will probably forever do it. That when I do a ribbing, and I love the that sewn bind off from.
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I'll put it up. I can see it, but I love it. I can't, well, see, I don't know where my lens is, but it's just
Yeah, it's very pretty.
beautiful,
very
beautiful.
sewn. It looks sewn.
It's probably not focusing. It looks very nice. So yeah, this is gonna be really, my real concern is that it will dry in time. I know I can finish it. I can probably get it blocked, but I might just wear it if it's not. It looks fine, really. So that's fun.
Well,
And I'm gonna have.
You could try to do a steam block. That would be enough.
For
instead of
cotton,
doing
is
a
that
wet.
good? I always heard you should do wet for cotton and linen. I don't know, because mine also is a cotton linen blend, mostly
Yeah,
linen.
I've done. Well, I don't know
Have you?
about linen. Anybody got
And-
any
and you
ideas
know-
on that? Let us know.
Well, it's kind of interesting. I was watching a podcast by, let's see, I just found her this morning while I was knitting. Let me find her. Jessica McDonald Knits. So to back up, I posted on Instagram this old-timey video I found of spinning gatherings that used to happen in Germany.
Yeah.
And then probably because I watched that, Jessica's, 5 linen knits came up, which I'm glad
Yeah.
it did, because she knits 100% linen. And she said it's real crunchy at first.
Yeah.
However, if you just shake it and move it around, it softens up. And honestly, if I just do this, it is softening. It's very soft
Yeah,
already,
they say
actually.
the more you wear
So,
linen, the softer it gets.
yeah. So the point is, I probably could wear it without it being blocked. So we'll see. We'll see what time. The good news is, in the spring, or well, anytime it's sunny, I can block it outside on my porch and let it kind of sun dry, and it'll go faster. So I'm
Yeah.
hopeful. I'm hopeful. So, but those are the main things, that I've been knitting, and I was alternating, but right now I'm just trying to finish the Yumi because I have a deadline, and then I'm going to go back and work on the Danny. So, and I'm going to write my directions more detailed. I have them, but now I have to see if I can duplicate it. So there's the experiment. But, well, now that we have shared what we've been up to, now it's time for our Yarn Over With Us spotlight to see what you guys have been up to. Isn't that amazing?
Wow, those are beautiful sweaters. I loved all of the lace work and the yoke and the beautiful lace work. One of the sweaters had lace work on the sleeves, and then the beautiful lace work on the other one. And I think, didn't the same yarn circle friend knit both those sweaters?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
they're
that's
beautiful.
artwork. Absolutely
They're beautiful.
Artwork. And then the Knitting McPurley hat.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
Probably there might be a lot of our yarn circle that's taking advantage of Devon's hat club or her blanket club, So I wanted to get in on that blanket club, and I missed out on it. So I'm doing another blanket club this year, but I'm loving what I'm seeing, and it's with minis versus a hank of yarn. And so, yeah, that hat looked great. And she's got a lot of beautiful colors coming out. If you're doing that, you're going to have a lot of Christmas presents that you're going to be able to share at Christmas from the hat club. And yeah, the
So let us know, are you knitting? Yeah, are you knitting the hats with Knitting McPearly? So let us know if you guys out there, is anyone else. I know Arlena is. She submitted a hat. So now we've had, I think, two of the club submissions.
Yeah.
Yeah, how fun. But anyway, let's see,
So I've got
what
a
else?
few. I've got a few little things that I have finished.
Oh, you do? Oh,
Yeah.
you said you didn't have any time to knit. You did.
Well, I did knit a little bit.
Did
I'm
you?
always
Well, I'm
fighting
going to
knit
knit
a
while
little
we
bit.
talk. I'm going to knit while we
So-
talk. Because I got a plan.
So this is actually clubs that I'm a part of.
Okay.
So I'm doing. I'm doing. I had started the year out with Speckled Finch, the yarn bliss box, and I had already gotten yarn in that I had not. I've actually done that
Boxes.
the last few years. I've loads of it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking some of that yarn and I am knitting one square from the Yorkshire blanket. There's 12 of them, and this is the
Right.
square that I am going to be knitting for this. Crocheting. This is crochet. I'm crocheting this, and I absolutely love doing this. I'm using the finger and weight yarn, but I'm doubling it, so I'm pulling from the outside and the inside and doing these squares. I'm doing square number 9 if you look at the pattern, and again it's called the Yorkshire blanket, and this came out in time for 2024 Advent, two Decembers ago, and so I am doing that. And I had already shown, these are some of the other squares that I've done.
Now that's not the same square that you did for your Advent.
For Advent, no, I did another one.
A different one,
But,
yeah.
Yeah, I did a different one. But I get
That's
6
pretty.
squares out of 2 100-gram hanks. So this was the first 6, and then I've started on the second one. I just have one done, but I did get that done, and then I am a part of a Homespun House Boufflé Blanket Club, and this was the March.
I love that yarn.
I have finished the March color, and I've not gotten the April color yet, and so that was March, and this was February, and this was January. So I did get this finished, so I'm waiting for my April yarn for that. And then I had shown the bandana by Pearl Soho. It was a free pattern, and I was hoping to have, that's what I've been sitting here working on. I'm trying to do the bind off, but this is a beautiful little bandana.
It is. I really like those scalloped edges.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I've finished, and I am just about finished. I have this much while we've been sitting here. I've been trying to get it off the needles, and I really played yarn chicken with this. This is what I have left. I was so afraid I wasn't going to have enough. But this bandana takes 1 hank of finger and weight yarn, and I think the yardage for this one, this is an Expression Fiber Arts yarn that I'm using, and I think the fiber was like 430 some yards in length. It was 100 grams, but that's the yardage. And you're going to need every bit of that to do this pattern if you decide to do this little bandana. But it is a precious little bandana.
It is. I like it.
It can be worn a lot of different ways. And it certainly will keep your shoulder and neck warm, but it's a pretty little bandana, a piece of jewelry.
Yes, yes. I am thinking of making something like that to leave on the back of my couch. I tend to, especially in the spring, because I want to sleep in something sleeveless, but then I get up and I don't put on a robe. And then I'm cold around the shoulders, so now I'm folding a little blanket in half and putting it. I need a shawl that can just stay. Yeah, there you go.
It is a cute
that can
little
just
bandana.
stay on the couch. As
I love it.
couch jewelry, and then for utilitarian. Yeah, so that could be a pattern that I'd want to do.
Yeah, it's so cute.
It's really
Cute. It can be worn, I'm sure, so many different ways. You can roll it like this.
Yeah.
Just
You
tie
know,
it around your
Susie, that's
neck.
something I could do with some of my one of my other
skein.
Advent. The
Yeah.
and make it kind of, it'd be stripy, but
Yeah,
you
or
know,
if you have a lot of one skein hanks, you know.
tons. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think we all do.
We all loved it, but and I think I'm doing what size needle am I doing? I'm doing a 3.5 millimeter. No, I'm doing I can't. It's a 3.0. It's a 3.0 millimeter. So it's a small needle. So, but yeah, this is comfort knitting, easy project, but it makes a really nice project.
It's pretty. It's
so
really
yeah,
pretty.
that's what I've been doing this week, in between everything. So
Yeah.
wish we could see what all of you were doing.
Well, that's why they have to send things to the spotlight.
Yes, they have to send it, but I wish
and
that
Zoom.
they could.
You can share in Zoom.
Yeah, we can do all that on our Zoom call, so that'll be fun.
Yeah. So I know we had discussed together that we've been watching while we knit a show. You want to talk about the show that we're watching? It's so good.
I don't
remember. The Count.
Oh yes, we've been watching that. Yeah, well,
we both started watching it and didn't know each other were watching it.
Yeah, and we have finished it.
Have you?
Yeah, it's only 8 episodes, but yeah, it's really good, and it's kind of different from the movie because if you've read the book, I'm sure they had to leave lots of things out in order to condense a book down to 2 hours or less.
Yeah.
And so it's like they were able to pull, I'm thinking, different things. I've never read the book, so they
The Count
probably
of
were able
Monte
to
Cristo.
pull. Yeah, the Count of Monte Cristo. But they were able to pull probably different things into the 8 episodes that they showed than was even in the movie, because there was like new things in there. So it's like if you've seen the movie, you're still going to enjoy watching this.
Right.
And they really the guy that played the Count, he did a great job. Who was it that played the other one? Oh shoot, it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of his name.
I didn't see the other one.
Oh, you haven't seen the other one?
This is my first.
Oh,
No.
wow. The movie is great. Jim Caviezel. That's who.
Yes.
Yeah, and he
that's
did
it.
a great job. And this guy's done really well, too. In fact, at times he reminds me of Jim Caviezel a little bit. But
Yeah.
you need to go back and watch the other one, too.
Well, Danny has seen them all, and he read the book as well when he was
did
a
he?
child, and he said all of the renditions are different, but they've all been good.
Yeah.
So that was his take on it. And it's ironic because last year my daughter said her and her dad were we're reading the book. And she said, oh my gosh, it's such a great book.
Is it?
And now we're able to watch. But yeah, and it's kind of one of those, you do want to see it. So I'm glad I'm knitting what I'm knitting because I don't have to look at a chart or, I can
you have
focus on it.
You don't want to miss things. You don't want to miss things. That's for sure.
Yeah. But another show that we really like, and what I like about it is there's enough action for the men, but there's no bad language that I can remember, and it always ends well. So never panic. It's going to work out, and that kind of makes me less tense. But it's Tracker, and I really enjoy the show Tracker. And the first season is maybe the first 2 or so are on Netflix, but then it is a CBS show currently being made. So that if you want to see, what was on either this week or last week, you have to have Paramount Plus. So we do have Paramount Plus because we just want to watch it, and we just can't seem to remember to. We don't have cable. We have a digital antenna which we pull out for American Idol. We'll get to American Idol in a minute. So we watch one show a week now on Monday nights. And we only watch it for, those weeks of American Idol, which usually start in February or late January to May. So, and then for some reason, we just can't seem to remember to watch any shows. So, that's why we have to, a lot of them are on Hulu, of course, if you want to, that's kind of like a DVR of sorts, but CBS is not on them. So then you have to have Paramount Plus. So, for a season, I would imagine all of the seasons are going to be wrapping up in the next week or so, I remember when I was a kid, they'd make shows and they'd quit just for the summer, and that seemed so long, but they did like 20, 30 episodes. I mean, now you get 8 out of these shows on Netflix. It's terrible.
You would have to plan your life to be at home to watch your shows because you couldn't see them again, before. I mean, it's like if you missed it, you missed it. You'd have to ask somebody, what happened? What happened?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that anymore.
But that's that, and I don't know if I mentioned, because I know people ask, what are you watching? What are you listening to? I am not a really big, I don't listen to a lot of books simply because the library app I have doesn't have the books I'm looking for. And my husband, he gets to spend the money on because he's always in the car. He puts on like 32,000 miles a year. So he's in the car. So if he gets to have the books, you know what I'm saying? The audio books, I could be reading them. But when I was knitting this fall, I was listening to a book. And what made me think about this is my son-in-law and my husband were talking about, the reader of a book can either make it or break it. The narrator is so important. And I was listening to the real Downton Abbey, the story of Lady Elmina. So, and the actual countess that's still living in Highclere Castle read the book. She wrote the book and she read it. Yeah. And so you have that very authentic everything, and so she is married to I want to say the 8th Earl, but I don't know. But they still are the Duchess and Earl of Highclere. Well, it's really she's the Countess of Carnarvon. She said it so many times, you think I could say it. But if you are looking for a book, and you will learn so much history of where they're pulling the Downton Abbey from, because there's a lot of the real Downton Abbey there's a lot of the real Highclere Castle in Downton Abbey, but not to give it away because it's revealed fairly quickly in the book, but there is still a whole very exciting story that they could do in Downton Abbey, but I don't think they're going to make any more movies. But they always say that, and then they do, Yeah. But there's a really big one, and that is the Earl was part of finding King Tut's tomb.
Oh, really?
So he financed the whole expedition, and he and Lady Elmina, they would spend their winters in Egypt because it was warm, and they, somehow got wind. I don't know how they met this explorer or whatever you call him, but got wind that there could be, near the pyramids, the tomb, and they're who found it. And I'm like, that would be like. It could be like a Indiana Jones type episode or movie. And there's still a lot laying on the table, but the history is so fascinating because she takes you through from the very beginning of Highclere Castle. And, they have a room in these castles with all the written documents. It's like their personal library. And there was a person in the castle that literally took notes, historic notes of what happened all those years.
Wow.
And so she read them. I mean, she started pouring through them, and I'm guessing she's older than me, but she's not an old woman. I'm not an old woman, but I mean, you know, she's not like 90 or 100 years old. I mean, she's still very active, and yeah, it's just all very, very fascinating. So that was on the library. That's in the library, and so yeah, if you're looking for something to listen to while you're knitting, there's that. And then we shared with some shows to watch.
Yeah.
So yeah. So other than that, is there anything else we need to talk about?
Well, one more thing that I wanted to mention. We always mention our shopping club, that we're not like sponsored by them, but
Nope.
But they, you know, you watch YouTube channel, they'll say, now we're going to go to a commercial and we are sponsored by. Well, we're not really sponsored by our shopping club, but we love our shopping club. And our shopping club, you know, they encourage us to tell people about the shopping club. We don't sell the product, we don't collect money, we don't deliver product. It literally is like a Costco or Sam's. You do a membership and you shop straight from the store. We don't do any, and we do get a little percentage, but it's little. I mean, it's $7 to $10 that we make off a shopper shopping each month from. I mean, so it's not like we're telling this because we're going to make a lot of money. We just love our shopping club.
We love it.
And and when people start shopping there, they love it, and you can only know about it if a shopper tells you. And so that's why we feel like we're doing our viewership a favor to share with them about our shopping club, because you can only hear it from another shopper. Our shopping club's been around for over 40 years.
It's
Can
by
you believe
private
that?
invitation.
That's exactly right. But the reason I'm bringing this up is, of course, you can go to our website and you can click, you know, scroll down and ask for information, and we'll call you and talk to you about it, because we want you to understand about all the wonderful things that are available to you when you become a shopper at our online shopping club. And one of the things that they have just premiered is beef tallow. And I don't know if you know about beef tallow. It is a healthy oil to cook in. It has a high heat point. And one of the neat things is that a lot of the beef tallows are being processed in facilities where they're actually using chemicals to kill bacteria and all of that. And our company said we're not doing that. And so they are processing it to where that no chemicals are used, but they're processing it in such a way that it's done with excellence. And you can actually get beef tallow now from our shopping club. And so, you know, let us tell you about it.
Oh,
you know?
yes.
It's a great place. It's a one-stop shop, delivers to your door very quickly.
Yep.
If you're shopping at Whole Foods and Fresh Market and Sprouts, and you're concerned about, you know, products that you're using for your family, you will love our shopping club. So,
well, and the tallow comes from the River Bend Ranch cows, which of course our butcher, I'm going to call it the butcher shop, is now famous, very famous. And in fact, somebody asked me this morning, you know, what I thought about something about the meat. And I said, well, let me tell you this. I said, we cooked a sirloin steak. In fact, I wish we would have videoed it. We will next time. And we didn't use a knife.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is amazing.
I made some sirloin tips, and we just ate them. We picked them up with a fork. We didn't have to cut them. They just melted in your mouth. The meat is very high quality. But you know, you can shop at the main store and buy meat, or you can shop just for meat and not at the main store, or you can do both. And of course, we do both. So anyway.
Well, one of the things I actually had in my bag that I want to share, because, you know, weight management for me and a lot of women is just a full-time job. No, it's just something, you know, that we just are always kind of conscious of. And one of the things over the years is I've learned, and I know this, but processed carbs and sugars are not my friend. I literally can look at a piece of cake and gain 5 pounds. No, really, I can. I mean, I look at it and I just puff up. And so when I'm trying to do a more keto thing, it melts off and I just feel so much better. But one of the challenges is then like dessert. What do you want to do for dessert? And I am this is my favorite. I think if I had to pick a favorite food besides the beef, I mean, I'm obsessed with the beef. We eat it almost every day, is Sustain. I got to get this right. And this is a natural electrolyte. Now, why is this important to me? We've talked already about my heart food. And, one of my friends asked me, have you seen the cardiologist yet? I said, no, I'm taking my Sustain. I haven't had a problem, So for me and my body, this gives me good heart rhythm because I need the electrolytes. I need the minerals that are in here. And then when you start to perspire a lot, you're working outside, I need it even more. So I'm now taking it in some way 2 times a day. So let me tell you my 2 ways that I'm having so much fun taking it. Number 1 is I'm making dessert. I'm taking cream cheese, a scoop of this, you can use the lime, stir it up, freeze them in balls, and make little cheesecake bites.
Oh,
amazing.
That sounds delicious.
Amazing. I have goosebumps. Look at me, just talking. They're so good. Even my husband eats them.
Well, and
Goes,
there's other flavors. There's lemon and lime and
the lime would be like a key lime pie.
Yeah,
it's so good, and I love the lemon.
Pomegranate. There's lots of different flavors of the Sustain. So wow,
but
that is a great idea.
But Susie, we talk about how we love.
Wait a minute. Was it a scoop to a block of cream cheese? And you just mix it up, then put it in little balls and
you can do what
freeze
you
it.
want to do. I mean, if you want to add more, you can add more. If it's a little too tart, because this is tart, but I like tart. I'm not really a big sugar eater. I am more salty, so you can add 2 if you need to, or add 1 of these and maybe some allulose for sweetening, whatever you want to do. If you want to get really fancy, you could line some parchment paper, crush up some almonds, pour it over that, then freeze it. Yeah, there's all kinds of things.
Good too.
But how we always talk about how we love, the bubbly. And so of course the diet sodas were hard to give up, years ago for me. But I drink sparkling water. But if you take a lime sparkling water and add this lemon, it's 7-Up. It's 7-Up all day long.
I bet it is.
It really is. Now I tried the lime, and it was just. It almost seemed like it was competing. It wasn't good. You probably could use lemons. You could, mix the lime powder with the lemon, but it's like a 7-Up and it is so refreshing, and I got the bubbles and it's making my nose tickle and I'm all happy and I don't feel deprived. But yeah, I love this Sustain. When I was having my little episodes, that was in the winter, and I wasn't drinking it as regularly. I seem to remember when sweat runs down my nose because this is what happens is my brain says you're going to get leg cramps tonight, and I love to sleep. So then I remember to take it, but I really need it every day, not just the days that I perspire profusely. And so yeah, I've been playing with this stuff. I have 3 different flavors. I'm adding a 4th one to my pantry, and you can just do a lot of different things with it. But it's great electrolytes, hydration, but especially for summer. And then you add the magnesium and I'm good to go. Yeah. The heart just
and my husband
ticks
loves
as
the
it
peach.
should.
He loves the peach tea. It comes in a powder too, and we make it by the gallon, and I keep it in the refrigerator. Peach tea that they have.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, you just got to
But
check
anyway.
the shopping club out.
Yes, and there are some people who have asked for some information, and I haven't been able to get up with them, or we haven't been able to get up with them, and it's kind of like you ask for the information and then you ghosted us. So don't ghost us. No, we want to share you the information. If you're still interested, write us back again. So anyway, which you can do through the website. So yeah, but anyway. I think that's about it. You got anything else? All right.
I think all my minds and hearts are clear.
Well, good. Well, don't forget to share with your friends. When you share and like the episodes, that tells YouTube that they should be sharing it as well. So you're kind of the share leader. So please share and like our episodes and subscribe, and more people can. Yeah, and we love your comments. We answer all of them, every single one of them.
We see them all.
We do. So with that, we will see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye.
Bye.